To this really incredible episode of ROCKn TALKN, Rare Meets Rockstar. This is the first episode and probably my very favorite project of all. This is the one I'm most proud of. Thank you so very, very much to everybody involved in this epic first episode, from Lawrence Wallace, my rare disease meat, to my rock stars, Lips, and Ben Cable, and of course Greg Christian. I also want to say a special shout out and thank you to John Gallagher Raven and to James Murphy, who had done the show Sunday Sabbath before and couldn't make this but gives their best. So to the entire ROCKn TALKN family, we give you this episode. So sit back, enjoy it, grab a joint, grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, grab a cup of coffee in a comfy chair, and enjoy a great show, everybody. Thanks so much. Hey, brother, are you there? Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You have
Excellent.
such an accent. It's so cool, the accent.
Yeah.
Wow. Do I?
Do you? I never think to myself, oh wow, that's like a crazy accent. I can't see myself.
Well,
There
Ben, good to see you, brother. Here comes Lawrence Wallace. This is the man that we're doing this for. Hopefully this goes well. So welcome to our first episode of Rare Disease Meets Rockstar. Hopefully the people show up. If it doesn't all come together, Lawrence, and not everybody can make it, everybody's willing to reshoot, redo, and we can re-edit this to be completely amazing. I've asked everybody to bring their guitars. So hi, Lawrence.
Hi. I would just want to make sure you can hear me well. Is that good?
We can hear you amazing, can't we, Ben?
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lawrence, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm bad, and it's good to meet you.
How you doing? I don't know if I met you before or not. I think I might have.
Maybe I've been meeting so many people like so quickly that
it's nuts, right?
Yeah, it is nuts. Absolutely. Well,
I don't over here.
By the way, good to see you tonight, man.
I want to explain a little bit as Lawrence walks away and grabs a guitar, a little bit about Lawrence. Lawrence has donated an entire collection of amazing music to me. I have done a video for his band. I have interviewed him over and over again, and endlessly with every connection I try and make, I try and get Lawrence out there to the world. As a solo guitarist now, that I think he needs to be just shoved into the face of the entire planet. It's not so easy trying to promote a solo guitarist unless your name is Steve Vai or Joe Satriani or Joe Stump or Ingrid Malmsteen or all these lovely people I even tried to include today. But
it is promotion.
Yeah. And we talked a great deal on our last episode of today's show about the use of digital and being able to actually play it. And Lawrence writes some of the greatest music and he can actually play it. So it's not a matter of using the machine to make it play the most perfect and technical thing. It probably is, but it also means that he can actually do it. Oh my gosh, Lips originally said he couldn't do it. He's here today with us, Lawrence.
All right.
It usually takes about 5 minutes for everybody to join. So thank you so much.
The tone sounds terrible. It's like one of those old box, like little Marshall.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hey.
Some of the most genius stuff comes out of a tin can.
Absolutely.
And Lips, hi Lips.
Hey, there's the guy.
How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
How you feeling?
I'm starting to feel better.
Good. I'm so glad. You look great. We all got some, I don't know if we all got it, but I got some lead too. Of course, always do. This is Lawrence Wallace. This is the first episode of Rockstar Meets Rare Disease. So slowly everybody will come on and hopefully this episode goes really well. Lawrence, I want to tell you a little bit about him, Lips. He has donated music, performances, time, friendship, and he shares some of the similar conditions I have. And he's probably the only person on the planet who understands truly what it's like to love this music and be who we are. So I've asked him to play, and I've asked everybody to try and play a song. It's hard on Zoom, but here we go. So who wants to play first?
I don't have anything prepared, really. I wish I did, but I don't know. I was expecting everything at 4 o'clock, but.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
One of the most difficult parts about the platforms, and that's why everybody's experimenting with them, is because of the latency issues. It's very difficult to play. Excuse me, it's very difficult to play with other people. So we'll probably have to do like a one little lick at a time type of thing.
I think so.
And just have fun with it,
Ben Lips, this is my other co-host in the US, and he's going to help us tremendously with production and quality and all kinds of fun, awesome stuff for the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I met you before. I'm not sure, huh?
I think you have. Yeah. Lips, did you not just buy a brand new guitar?
What's that?
Did you not just buy a brand new guitar?
Yeah, I did.
He called me and told me and showed me. It's so pretty and red.
It's at rehearsal.
Oh, damn.
You had it? You're not going to show it off?
So did you play it? Did it sound as good as it looked?
Yeah, it sounds better than it looks.
It was pretty. Cherry red, beautiful finish. I don't know. What would you call the color of it?
Red.
Red. I love it. I didn't get it wrong. I'm like, because I ask guitarists all the time, what's the difference? Because when you go into a guitar store, to me, they all look the same. And people are like, oh, Kelly. Oh, Kelly.
I think the way it sounds makes more of a difference.
So, okay, Lawrence is good. Oh, we can't hear your playing.
No, I was just, I wasn't plugged in. How about now? You can hear that?
I had a brainstorm about how to make, if using, as a bass player, using bass stuff without having any attack on it, but just having, a key and playing things in a key. I think that would be one way to be able to play like in key together on a Zoom platform, obviously,
I think we're going to just have to try it one at a time and see how it goes. So, Lawrence, do you want to start first, or Ben, do you want to start first?
All right.
Lawrence, why don't you go ahead, man? I got to find my tuner real quick. I thought.
As a matter of fact, I actually don't even know what I'm tuned to.
Oh, okay.
Hang on a second.
It's all right. So, Lips, what have you been? Well, we're tuning. What have you been up to, man?
Not too much, man. Cleaning up the yard today.
You, the rock star, does yard work?
Can I ask one quick question? Did you make it to the shed?
No.
I know you didn't.
Go in
I know
that
you didn't.
far.
The joint wasn't big enough.
No, I'm not starting to pull out those sweet.
I know. You don't have to get into it, but I told Ben about it and we laughed, and it's a funny story. So it's an inside joke. But no, he didn't make it to the shed.
What if you knew what it was to go through to get in there and what
I do, brother. I do. I understand. I actually had my soda pop pass away and have to go through all of his musical stuff. Here comes Greg Christian as well. He's going to play a new track from his newest project. He is from Testament, Trauma, and some other great stuff. So welcome.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Lauren. I was just curious. I was looking at your Jackson, and I was just curious if you could show us your Jackson over there. I just picked a Jackson Charvel up the other day. It's a lower end model. But what do you got there?
If you wanted me to talk about this thing, I picked the wrong guitar, because this is like this is the one that the one that I record with, and it's like the bottom of the barrel kind of thing you would find in a music store.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's about $200. Piece of crap, really, but it plays perfect for me. However,
$200 right here.
That's what matters, right?
Like
Hey, Greg, how are you,
Hey,
brother?
I'm here.
Welcome.
I finally figured out how to do this on an iPad.
It always takes a few minutes. So the idea is, this is Lawrence Wallace. Say hi, Lawrence.
Hi, how are you?
This is
Hello,
my
how you
very
doing?
special friend. We've explained what all kinds of awesome stuff he's done for me and what a great player he is. And he's really honored to meet all of you. He's really excited. He's gonna play some music for us right now, actually. Right, Lawrence?
Yeah, but we had this conversation about not knowing what key we're in and whatnot.
Well,
you know what,
whatever. Pick
maybe-
a key. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works.
Well, Kelly, you know, one of the things that we talked about because of the latency issues was like just going around and doing like a 30-second lick of the day or something like that. If you want to just, show us what you've been doing or working on or something you wrote.
Yeah, I didn't prepare anything. I didn't even know what we were doing. And like
Me neither.
when you met,
Actually, I told you yesterday, but you don't remember. But it's cool, brother.
no,
These
no, like
are
I
awesome.
thought this, we had everything all mixed up because I thought this was gonna
I
happen.
know we
at
did.
4 o'clock.
Because I'm a mess. I'm
Was
sorry.
like 8 o'clock, and we tried to get somebody on who I didn't know if he's going to be on.
He might show up. It's all coming together. This happens sometimes. So
Did you talk to Roy Marchbank?
I did. Yeah, he's been invited. Everybody's been given the links. So many people have been given the links. So we don't know who's going to show up. But why don't you play us something?
Yeah.
Start it off.
All right. Well, starting it off, we were just talking about the latency thing. It'd be an embarrassment to actually have all those guitars turned into a mess with the latency problem he's talking about. Because
I know.
what he's saying.
But my show is a wonderful wing it mess. So do it. Just do it.
Just go ahead yourself, man. We'll take turns doing little things if we want to. Go ahead. Man.
You want to just start? Actually, wait. Can I hear your E?
My E? Sure.
Or I can hear your D. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the higher strings. I can give you a 12 fret. Yeah, I'll tune to you. Are you in tune?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't.
You want to just stand something yourself? You want to show me something you've been doing or working on?
I think I got you. Let me do it. Get it one more time.
Lawrence is beautifully technical
It's an A.
and like
It's an A. This is like a total experiment.
I love it.
Close. So,
Okay.
So we'll try some just sticking around with some metal riffs and stuff.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Go,
Well,
brother.
if you want me to do like lay down like something in just an E minor key, and then you just solo over it, maybe see how that works.
Okay.
All right.
I'll
Let's
see.
See
try
how
that.
this works. I've never seen this done before. Okay, so
Me neither.
I know, this is so cool. It's so cool.
All right.
Do you have your guitar, Greg? If not, go grab it.
You know, I don't really have a spot where I can plug in right now here.
Oh, too bad. It's cool, brother. Are you happy to just be part of this? We're happy to have you. Honored.
All right.
fun to watch, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
But
What an audience, Lawrence. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna add a little bit background. Ready?
I gotta turn the speaker up. I lost the audio. I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, man.
Okay, you just play.
Who, me?
Yes.
What?
Oh, this being E minor. See what we'll see what happens. This should be a really good experiment.
Oh no, we can't hear you. Oh shit, we can't hear it. We can't hear it.
Okay.
Doesn't work?
All right, man.
You can't hear me?
Platform for this. No way.
Excellent. Well, you know what? That was an experiment. What did that?
I meant to play one at a time. So Lawrence put on a backing track and play to it.
I don't have
Then yeah.
I don't have a backing track prepared. I can play my guitar. That's all I can do.
Okay, play your guitar.
Okay.
Just play.
So I'll just stick around with some E minor stuff.
We can't hear it.
No. You
Can't hear
can't
anything?
use this to
Is
play.
it too low or is it not coming through?
Too low. It's not coming through.
Okay.
The whole machine the whole thing starts to compress
Yeah, it was a wonderful idea.
for voice,
Well,
not for music.
we may be
It would
starting a
normally
different
cancel that.
platform that will be more music friendly. So maybe then we could start doing some stuff like that. We'll have to have you back to do that, man.
I really want to share Lawrence with the world. You are one of the most gifted guitarists I've met outside of already accomplished musicians. I mean, you're accomplished, but you know, famous or whatever. He is really, really good. So I can't thank you all enough for coming and speaking today. Greg, you were gonna do a new project, a very brand new project, right? How's that going?
It's going really well. Yeah, I have a new band called Power Shift. It's with Claudius Kramer from Possessed, a singer by the name of Jim Settle. He's local here from the Bay Area. He had a band called Hand of Fire and has done a few other things. And a drummer named Gary Neff that's also local here from the Bay. And we just recorded 3 songs with Juan Ortega. And I was actually going to send you one. I could still send you a song if you want to.
Yeah,
you know,
please do
check
it.
it
I was really hoping maybe you could play some of it today, but yes,
You
this
know
is the
what?
theme. It was a new song and it's so
Do I
cool.
have your email?
I don't know if you do, but you can messenger it to me right now, but
I can't with your phone because it compresses it.
I'll give it to you right after the episode. But
Okay. So I can send it to you right now from my phone.
Yeah,
At any point, yeah, it's all, I would like you to check it out. It's very, it's very old school and modern at the same time, if that makes any sense.
it really does. So old school and modern, you mean old school metal in what way?
Yeah. Just the way the riffing is, the song structure, just the guitar playing, everything. It's very much closer to what people were doing in the 90s, I think, than nowadays. And I think vocally, the way that Jim sings the stuff, it brings it into the modern age.
So is Lips, do you feel like sometimes you're chopped like that? Because like some genius stuff was written back then with the technology that was available back then, and then now you're in the new age and you're still making music. Is it hard to combine the old and the new, and how do you do that?
Well, you don't actually.
You just move forward, right? But you keep that anvil sound. You keep that anvil sound.
Like you guys will all discover that once you hit your mid-30s, you stop listening to anything new. And anything new, you hear it, you go, I don't like it. No matter what it is.
But in your mid,
it's that way. And it's not anything against anybody personally. It just gets that way for everybody. And what happens is the music that you grew up with between the ages of 14 to maybe 25, that's going to be your favorite. That's going to be your favorite era of music, no matter what happened at that specific time. Whether that you were living in the 80s or whether you were living in the 90s or whether you're living in the early 2000s, whatever it is, that will be your era that you will more relate to and relate to things from that perspective. It's just the way it works.
I think you're true. And you'll hold your fashion sense and all your likes and all the things you and that's how you get people our age group who now have the money to buy all the cool stuff you couldn't afford at that age.
There are exceptions. There are guys that I've met that, like, as an example, I have this guy that we bumped into at a show in Halifax, like way over in fucking Nova Scotia, actually. And what happened was he was a singer of a band, And we took him with and went across Canada, and he came with us. And what we discovered at 23 years old, he knew more. There were more obscure stuff that he knew from the 50s and 60s and 70s than Rob and I knew.
Wow. Wow.
Like he became at a very young age really, really intrigued by the era
Right.
that I grew up in, to the point where he knew as much, if not more, than I do. And I lived
I think Lawrence,
23. So what I'm saying is that there are exceptions to what I'm saying, that
yes, yes.
there are people that cross the years, that get to know the history. But for the by and large, it doesn't work like that. It's whatever era you're born into and whatever you listen to it during that period of time is what you're going to grow up with and what stays with you.
Why do you think people close their mind off though?
And
Sorry, Lawrence.
Deep
No,
Purple,
yeah.
What do
That
you
was-
say, Lawrence?
I was going to ask a question. I was like, why do you think people close their minds off after a certain period of time goes by?
because there's a certain aspect of the way that I think that the human brain works. That's when you
It's just
absorb.
natural. Yeah, it's
It's
just natural.
You absorb
Yeah,
it.
that all
Why
makes
do they
sense
send
to me.
kids to school? Why is it better to learn it when you're a kid? And
I
why
don't know. Yeah, from when you're like 10 to
When you get
20, it's
older.
special.
all those reasons.
10
Lawrence.
to 20 is special time of absorbing music, isn't it?
Of course, of
The age
course.
of 10 to 20, I think, is maybe a little older, but
I don't know.
you
I
can
would
still
go back to
absorb
like
stuff.
5.
You can still absorb stuff
But
and be
music
totally changed by
becomes
it.
a
But
very, very, very integral, important part of
yes.
your life at a certain specific time.
Can I ask one question to all of you?
Yeah, but can I?
It's a way
Yeah,
of- it's escapism,
can I
really.
say one thing?
Can I ask one question to all of you after Ben, or before Ben? What was the music between 10 and 20 that affected all of you?
Who do you want to go first?
Go. Whoever wants to
ahead.
go, Lawrence.
Well, if you want to start there, I would start with video games back when I was like 5. But if you're talking bands, I think probably first band that I really liked was probably Metallica, I guess,
Yeah.
because I was born in '84, so it kind of makes sense because that's when they were big, I guess, sort of.
Right.
And so like Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne, and then I got into Testament. Obviously, we got a Testament a member here, so I got into that, and I was listening to cassette tapes and everything. So like
Oh, I miss cassette tapes.
right. So from there, I would say the era of Testament and Metallica up to, and then I was probably around 12, up to honestly, it never ended, so I can't really agree 100% with what he was saying. But I'd say if I around 20, age 20, I think at that point I was listening to like Children of Bodom, I think, bands like that.
I think that Lawrence is one of those people you were talking about, Lips, where he's a human encyclopedia of music.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be. I had a photographic memory and eidetic memory before my brain injury, and now I can't remember even your name sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I can remember your names. But I mean, like, the list of names just keeps getting so long. But like, yeah. But you're so right. Like, what about you, Ben? Who influenced you? And then Lips and Greg, I really am curious.
I mean, totally. In the early days, I was 100% influenced by Zeppelin, as I was forming as a musician, Pink Floyd, but also at the same time, because that was a little bit before my time, I got to add the Beatles in there, Rolling Stones, but at the same time, when I was forming as a musician, I was also listening to really heavy music. I remember I saw this band, Testament, and they were playing with Celtic Frost and Overkill, and it really changed. That night changed my life. What a great show that was! It just really struck me.
How old were you?
I was in 7th grade, so I must have been about 13 years old. Yeah. And Boston. Yeah.
James Murphy was apologizes. He did a show an hour ago and he can't make this one. So apologies to you, Lawrence, from him and John Gallagher. They really apologize. But Lips, who influenced you between the ages of 10 and 20, metal wise or music wise?
Well, everything between 10 and 20, everything came to life. Everything that was important in rock music for sure.
Mhm.
You know, starting, you know, at the age of 10 when I began playing, what was big in 1966? What was important in 1966? What could I listen to? What would be worthy of listening to?
Oh
is
my
what
God.
that was Beatles and Rolling Stones, because that's basically all there was that was worthy. And then of course, I mean, I guess, you know, there was all the side stuff like the Kinks and the Animals, and you know, and the
That's
list of
fun
all the
stuff,
British
though.
stuff that happened. And it just, my life kind of went parallel with how electric guitar went from Elvis Presley through to Hendrix, and then exploded through the late 60s into the 70s with what Jimi Hendrix had discovered. It completely blew the top off rock music and redefined what needed to happen to where
Totally.
everything is today.
Totally. How old are you, Greg, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I was born in '66.
Oh, wow. So you would have experienced from 10 to 20, the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, for me, the number one biggest influence was Black Sabbath.
Of
Well,
course.
too, but
I grew
Yeah,
up.
me
they
too.
came pretty late.
Me
You know, I
too,
grew up
yeah.
with Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Rush, that kind of stuff. But I also listened to more funk too, like Parliament, Funkadelic,
There we go.
George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, all that.
Yeah.
But
Mother's
for me, I mean, my favorite band always was Black Sabbath, and Alice Cooper.
Me too. Alice Cooper was my first love, I think, as well. I was born too late. I'm like 40, like Lawrence, born in the wrong decade of like music.
I just want to go. I want to be born many, many years in the future. I don't want to be born when I'm
Well, for me, going up to being 20, that encompassed a lot of changes in music, because by that time, I joined Legacy, which became Testament, when I was 17. So
wow.
I was playing clubs at 18. So and Metallica was blowing up at that point, and Slayer and that. So, but for me, between the ages of 10 and 20 encompassed huge changes in heavy music.
How does it feel now, Lips and Greg, to be influencers to somebody like Lawrence? To be that band for Lawrence and Ben?
I think it's great. It's an honor.
How's it feel, Lips?
It's what Lemmy told me it would feel like.
What did he say?
It's funny because I had a discussion with Lemmy sitting across the table going, man, you're the fucking greatest. You have no idea what you did for metal.
Oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
And he looks at me, in 10 years from now, there'll be another fucking guy sitting across this table and saying exactly the same thing to you.
I love the Lemmy impression.
Beautiful thing said on the show.
It all is.
Right? It's true. It's true.
If you don't, you gotta have somebody to listen to. You have
and
to
right now, there's a
inspired-
10-year-old out there who's going to discover your music. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my God.
It's hard.
Closer, she's dead now.
She gets so into this whole thing. Thank you guys for being here. This is really great to all be able to get together like this in this format. This is really a special night.
So Greg, how well, I guess you obviously knew Johnny Z and Marsha very well, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I had met them probably well before you did, but nonetheless, great people, man.
Yeah, that's who brought us out, It's kind of weird being a band playing in the San Francisco scene. We basically got signed by a label out of New Jersey through publicity that we had built up in Europe.
Right. Of course. Yeah, but there was, that's the way it worked. Because
Yeah, it is,
the
absolutely.
only guy that knew what was going on that particular at the beginnings of what we all know is the metal was Johnny Z. I mean, he hired Anvil to come to play to his fucking play the flea market where he had his record store.
Wow.
That's how it all began.
Yeah, I mean, by the time that we got hooked up with him, it was already on a bigger level because of Metallica, basically. You know, he had just sold them to Elektra. So by the time we hooked up with Johnny, he was already rolling pretty hard. You know,
Right.
This is like a fascinating conversation. I feel like I'm on a fly-in wall in these rock.
I know. It's beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
It's amazing. What I find always amazing is the people that, although Craig, I may have met you and it's really vague to me because
I met you in Sweden about 8 years ago.
Okay. And you know what? We may have even met a long time before that because I'd come to see Testament with Slayer at the Masonic Temple in Toronto.
Oh wow.
And I was backstage and I was hanging around. It was the first time I ever met Chuck, so
I'm sure I probably did meet you then, but I remember we played together at some festival in Sweden. Around it was around the last year I was in the band, which I left at the end of 2013. So it was around then.
We have 10 minutes left of the episode, and I just want to say that what meeting a superstar or an idol does for somebody who suffers a rare disease, or any metal fan, or who truly believes, is so much. What you have done for me, Lips, is above and beyond. What you have done, Greg, is above and beyond. What you have done, Lawrence, is above and beyond. What Ben has done already and is going to do is above and beyond. And Lips has agreed to do these continuously, and so is Greg. There's others who've agreed to be on the list of people to choose from, and I can't thank you enough. And I want to say, Lawrence, has this inspired you in any way to do something right now, tomorrow, make some music, do something?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a very interesting conversation, and I'm glad that I'm here. You know, because
I'm glad you're here too.
I wish that I could have got the amp working or whatever. We had a problem with. We were talking about the latency problem. That was a good thing you brought that up because it would have been horrible at trying to actually do that.
Yeah. I have sent you guys all some of Lawrence's music. Please listen to it. I'm trying to do compilation albums. All of you will be on something at some point, and I think that Lawrence, I promised you 1.5 years ago I would try and promote the hell out of you, and I've tried and failed miserably for 1.5 years, but here we go. Every project I ask, I'm like, do you want to be part? He's like, okay. Can you write me this? He's like, okay. Do you want to be my opening music for my radio show? Okay. Like anything. This guy is so like willing. So please.
I have a computer right over there. I just write everything on there.
If you're looking for a guitarist, if you know anybody who needs a guitarist, if you want to work on a project with Lawrence, please, and thank you so much, Lips. And thank you so much, Greg and Ben. And I look forward to doing more of these with you guys. This has been a great first episode, I think, of the show. We learned a little bit about what we can and can't do on the show. And the next platform we're going to use is going to be way better. It'll be a week, and this will be a totally different thing. So I do apologize, Lawrence. And we'll have you back on anytime we can and add you in, you playing something amazing. And
I'll be ready next time. I don't know. I wasn't really ready for it.
Yeah, I know. I put you on the spot. That's twice I did that today. But Lips, I want to hear something from your new guitar, if you don't mind. He called me the other day and said, look what I just bought. I was so honored. Like, Lips called me. He called me, nobody, and said, look what I just bought.
Just called me and I missed the call.
I know, but it was just too cool. It's,
I was in the middle of unpacking a thing and my phone is ringing. It's like I answered.
I know, but it was still cool. But Greg, I mean, I want to hear your new song. I want to share it. I really want to thank you for agreeing to do any one of these we can.
You know what? Just when we finish here, text me your email address.
I
and
for
I'll
surely
send you a
will.
phone.
I for surely will. I for surely
That'll
will.
just take a second for me to send it. I got it in my phone.
I'm gonna get.
So Greg, can we put
Yes.
Can we put the tune in post?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Awesome.
Oh,
And
wow.
just really quickly, I don't
Actually,
know.
what's that?
Oh no, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, I forget now.
Okay. So yeah, so we can do that post. But before we
Yeah.
wrap up, Lawrence, do you have any quick questions? This is kind of like your show, man. Do you have any quick questions for Greg or for Lips?
Well, I didn't know it was like anything. I actually was thinking something as you were just talking. Like, since we didn't get a song, since we didn't, she was asking us to maybe like jam out, and it turned into something we couldn't, I guess, do right now. But maybe if, do you think it'll be cool if like I can like set the skeleton for some sort of simple thing, like a verse chorus kind of thing, and like send it through, and then we can actually like maybe just put something out with all our names on it?
Yes.
Maybe something out. Would that be cool?
We can
Sure.
try. We can try everything
love to do it.
post-production. Like I said, Lips, finally, I met the right person to help me with the production because I have all this beautiful content. I have all this beautiful content with Lips and so many people like Greg and all these wonderful names, and I don't know how to do anything. So
We can
now
do
we
a
finally
collaboration.
have the help. But yes, we can do that.
We could do a
We
collab.
can do that.
I can probably even make an orchestrated thing. It might take me a little while, but it won't take me too long. But I can make like a really, I guess.
This guy will write an album in a night that will blow your freaking mind. Like he's insane. Like
An album. I don't know about an album. I can write a song in a night probably, but
no, you've written an album. I know you, dude, and you're being so humble right now. It's so funny. It's
yeah,
so
and
cute.
then go to work after like all night, like playing around with the computer and the guitar, and then go to work the next day. I've done that before.
No, you all have, right? Do you have a question though? Do you have a question other than that?
I think probably just that, like maybe like I can structure something and we can probably all collaborate if that's okay with everybody. If you,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm down.
That would be beautiful. I have been gifted a lot of music and I'm seeking the right label to bring out a compilation album that would blow everybody's mind. So many people like you have donated and it's just sitting there waiting to happen. So I'd love to add that collaboration, the one you got, anything, anything anybody wants to donate. Lips has been wonderful enough to let me use Anvil music, and what a freaking honor. Sorry, I'm my legs won't move right now and my left arm won't move because I'm so happy and I'm starting to stutter. So before I start to stutter, we got 3 minutes. So I don't know. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And never forget what this means to a fan. Okay. I hope it does something great. This is a wonderful first episode.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right.
Good job, Kelly. Good job.
All right. I love you all. Bye. Keep
Good
it metal.
Bye.
Good talking to Greg, Lips, Lawrence, Kelly's. Talk to you guys later. It was a great.
All
right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Rock on.
Peace.
Rock on.
See ya.
Take care.